Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you've ever felt like investing is some super complicated secret club you're not invited to, then you're in the right place. Today we are diving into a classic that cuts through all the noise. Andrew Tobias sees the only investment guide you will ever need. Before we get into it, if you want to get smarter with your money, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with a friend who needs it. Let's make financial literacy go viral. All right, let's talk about Andrew Tobias. This book was first published way back in 1978, but it's been updated over the years, and its core principles are absolutely timeless. Tobias writes with this incredible wit and common sense that makes you feel like you are getting advice from a wise, funny uncle, not some stuffy wall. Street analyst, his main message? Keep it simple. The financial world often makes things complicated on purpose, so they can charge you big fees. Tobias is here to pull back the curtain. The first big lesson from the book is to get your financial house in order before you even think about investing. This is the foundation. Tobias stresses the importance of having at least 6 months' worth of living expenses saved in an emergency fund. Life is unpredictable, and the last thing you want is to be forced to sell your investments at a bad time because your car broke down. He also talks about paying off high interest debt, especially credit card debt. The interest rates on these are so high that paying them off is like getting a guaranteed risk-free return on your money. No investment can promise that. Think about it. If your credit card charges you 20% interest, paying it off is a 20% return. You won't find that anywhere else. Next, Tobias tackles the big topic of insurance. His philosophy is simple. Insure yourself against catastrophes, not inconveniences. You need life insurance if you have dependents who rely on your income. You need health insurance because a medical emergency can wipe you out financially. You need auto and home insurance. But do you need insurance on your new smartphone? Probably not. The point is to protect yourself from things that could genuinely ruin you financially and self insure for the small stuff. Don't overpay for peace of mind on things you can afford to replace. Once you've got your foundation set emergency fund, no high interest debt, and proper insurance, then it's time to invest. And here's where Tobias's advice really shines with its simplicity. He is a huge advocate for low-cost index funds. What's an index fund? It's a type of mutual fund that holds stocks from all the companies in a specific index, like the S&P 500, instead of trying to be a genius and pick individual winning stocks, which even most professionals fail at. You just buy a slice of the entire market. This strategy is called passive investing. You're not trying to beat the market. You're trying to be the market. Over the long term, the market has consistently gone up. By owning a piece of it, your wealth grows with it. Tobias is very skeptical of financial advisors who promise to beat the market. He shares stories and data showing that the vast majority of actively managed funds, where a manager is picking stocks, actually underperform the simple index funds after you account for their high fees. Those fees, which might seem small, like 1% or 2% a year, compound over time and can eat up a massive chunk of your returns. His advice is a game changer. Focus on what you can control, and one of the biggest things you can control is the fees you pay. Low cost index funds are your best friend here. Now, what about your mindset? This is crucial. Tobias emphasizes that the stock market is not a casino. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's a long term wealth building tool. You will see your investments go up and down. There will be scary market crashes. The key is to not panic. Don't sell when everyone is freaking out. In fact, he suggests that those are often the best times to buy when stocks are on sale. He champions a strategy called dollar cost averaging. This just means investing a fixed amount of money at regular intervals, say every month. When the market is high, your money buys fewer shares. When the market is low, your money buys more shares. This smooths out your purchase price over time and takes the emotion out of trying to time the market, which is a fool's errand. Tobias also covers other aspects of personal finance with his trademark humor. He talks about saving on everyday expenses without being a total miser. Small things add up. He discusses homeownership, explaining that you should buy a home you can comfortably afford, not just the biggest one the bank will approve you for. He even touches on taxes, advising you to take advantage of tax-advantaged retirement accounts like a 401k or an IRA. These accounts let your investments grow tax-deferred or tax-free, which is a massive boost to your long-term wealth. The government is literally giving you a bonus to save for your future. Take it. One of the most memorable ideas in the book is his three-pillar approach. Pillar 1 is your safe, secure foundation, your emergency fund and paying down debt. Pillar 2 is your long-term investments, primarily in low-cost index funds held in tax-advantaged accounts. This is your wealth building engine. Then, and only then, if you have extra money you can afford to lose, you can move to Pillar 3, speculation. This is where you can try picking individual stocks or investing in riskier assets. But he's very clear, this should be a tiny portion of your portfolio, money you're okay with losing. Entirely, it's your fun money, not your retirement nest egg. So let's distill this down into some practical, actionable steps you can take right now, inspired by the book. First, calculate your monthly living expenses and start building that 6-month emergency fund. Put it in a high-yield savings account where it's safe but earning a little interest. Second, list all your debts from highest interest rate to lowest. Attack that high-interest credit card debt with everything you've got. Third, review your insurance policies. Are you covered for disasters but not overpaying for small stuff? Fourth, open a retirement account like a Roth IRA if you don't have one. Set up automatic contributions, even if it's just a small amount to start. Choose a low-cost, broad market index fund, like one that tracks the S&P 500 or a total stock market index. And finally, adopt the long-term mindset. Commit to not checking your portfolio every day. Trust the process, the beauty of the only investment guide you'll ever need is its timeless, common sense approach. It empowers you by showing that successful investing isn't about being a genius. It's about being disciplined, patient, and avoiding dumb mistakes. It's about setting up a simple system and letting it work for you over decades. You don't need a fancy advisor. You don't need to follow hot stock tips. You just need a plan, and this book gives you an excellent one. It is a message of financial empowerment that is just as relevant today as it was 40 years ago. And that's a wrap on the only investment guide you'll ever need. What a fantastic book. The biggest takeaway for me is just how simple and achievable building wealth can be when you cut through the noise and focus on the fundamentals. I'm so excited for our next video where we'll be tackling another financial classic. You won't want to miss it. Thank you so much for watching. If you got any value out of this, please do me a huge favor and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who could use this advice. See you in the next one.